Education in RAAG Darbari. Now let's understand what is the situation of education in RAAG Darbari. Shrilal Shukla's RAAG Darbari is a sharp satire on rural Indian socio-political and cultural condition in the post-independence era. Set in fictional village of Shivpalganj, it critiques power struggle within institutions like the Cooperative Union, Village Council and Changamal Vidyalaya. The novel exposes corruption, caste inequality, decayed social values, and misuse of power, portraying Shivpalganj as a microcosm of India. Education, symbolized by Changamal Vidyalaya, is depicted as pitiable and corrupt, with inadequate infrastructure and teachers more focused on personal gain than teaching. Leaders like Vadiji manipulates the system, turning education into a tool for political exploitation. Students remain disengaged and progress stagnates, exemplified by Rupan's decade-long stay in 10th grade. Using dark humor and irony, Shukla critiques the disconnect between the promises of modernity and harsh realities of rural life. His vivid portrayal of systematic flaws highlights the enduring neglect of villages and the present challenges of the governance and education in India. Shrilal Shukla's RAAG Darbari is a satirical masterpiece translated into 15 languages, critiques rural Indian socio-political decay of post-independence. Published in 1968 and awarded Sahitya Academy in 70, the novel draws from Shukla's bureaucratic experience in Uttar Pradesh. Its present Shivpalganj model for Rai Bareli as a microcosm of corruption and systematic dysfunction. The novel, entitled Meaning, the Malady of Code, reflects its deep political commentary as it centers in Changamal Vidyalaya. The climbing education system symbolizes the rural education crisis, described as deceived and mismanaged. The college epitomizes how corruption and political manipulation hollow out institution meant of public welfare. The principal misappropriates government fund while teachers, unqualified and apathetic, prioritize personal agenda over education. Students, disinterested and disengaged, treat education as an afterthought, focusing instead on trivial distractions. Through biting irony, Shukla exposes how rural development stagnates under layers of corruption in cooperative panchayat and governance. Changamal Vidyalaya, established ostensibly to uplift society, serves instead as a tool for extracting funds and perpetuating power struggle. Shukla's scathing portrayal of unaccountable leader and indifferent villages critique the persistent neglect of rural India, where progress remains a distant promise undermined by entrenched inefficiency of self-interest. Changamal Vidyalaya, as depicted in Shrilal Shukla RAAG Darbari, delves into how functioning of educational system in rural India influenced by broader socio-cultural and political forces drowning a contextual evidence from the novel. Furthermore, it investigates how Changamal Vidyalaya Intermediate College serves as a microcosm offering multifaceted perspective on challenges facing education institutions. The analysis also explores how critique of education reflect the nation's post-independence condition utilizing post-colonial theoretical framework. RAAG Darbari, Shukla's satirical masterpiece, critique the administration in newly independent India. The novel intervenes the degradation of rural India with a larger narrative of administrative inefficiency and moral decay. Shukla offers a comprehensive critique of corruption, politics, societal hierarchy and institutions' degradation. Through the portrayal of Changamal Vidyalaya, the author highlights the dire state of education in rural India, emphasizing how it has become a tool of political power rather than an intellectual and moral development. The college originally envisioned as the institution to produce honest doctors and engineers contributing to national progress become the breeding ground of inefficiency and corruption. The infrastructure is inadequate, with rooms used as storage and shops rather than classroom. Even basic necessities like clean water, proper sanitation, electricity are absent. Students ironically states, "We have no idea what electricity is and what tap water is." which a pakka non-mud floor look like what is meant by sanitary fitting. The education system is portrayed as purely theoretical and detached from the students' real world need. The teachers lack both experience and motivation, expertise and motivation, overtly emphasized English diminishing an importance of other subjects. As Rupan Babu remarked, this country's education system is useless. The master has given up teaching and just play politics. The curriculum fails to equip students with portrayal, practical knowledge of skill, creating a dissonance between what they are taught and reality they face. The very foundation of the Changamal Vidyalaya is steeped in irony. The institution was founded to inspire youthful citizens of the nation with great idea by providing them the best education to make them the means of the country's uplift. Instead, it becomes hub of factionalism where position of power are fought over the political gain. Teachers and administrative via for influence using political connections to secure desired role. For instance, Mr. Khanna, a teacher aspired to become vice president, leveraging conversation in other schools to justify while employing underhanded tactics to outmaneuver his rivals. Pedagogy, a powerful local politician, epitomized corruption. His manipulation extend to administration appointment exemption, reducing the college to his personal fiefdom. As Chauhan notes out, Rupan remained in 10th grade for 10 years to maintain his influence over the student body. This local political mirror and national issues reflecting the pervasive misuse of institution for personal and political consolidation in independence India. The character Ranganath serves as a foil to the village corrupt reality, embodying idealism and educate Indian youth. Ranganath arrives with lofty notion of development and progress. However, he soon realizes the irrelevance of his education in Shivpalganj, a murky political and social environment. His bookish knowledge proves inadequate in navigating the corrupt system. Meanwhile, the villagers, including students, prioritize exploitation the system over pursuing the ideas of education. Through the lens of Changamal Vidyalaya, Shukla critiques the disarray in Indian education and administrative system. The institution becomes symbol of national failure to align its post-independence aspirations with ground realities. The writer observes, Vaideji treats the Changamal Intermediate College Committee, the cooperative society and the village panchayat as his personal fiefdom, representing in his intimate way independence India's democratic administrative culture. This depiction reveals how corrupt, inefficient and moral decay hinder both institutional progress and societal development. Ultimately, RAAG DARBARI not only critique the state of education but also provide a mirror to the broader socio-political and moral changes of post-independence India. Through satire, Shukla underscored the urgent need of reform, exposing the disconnect between lofty ideals and grim realities of rural life. The students exhibit minimal interest in studying and are frequently disconnected by activities outside the room, which are inherently more appealing, especially since many schools lack boundary walls. As Shukla described, the drivers sitting at the front of the carts were swearing vigorously at the length. The oaths and counter oaths entered the class through the window and provide background music for the boys who were enjoying drama while studying science. This is exemplified by Rupan Babu, the 10th grade student of the past 3 years, who spent his time loitering under the guise of students' union work and threatening strikes over minor disagreement. Factionalism within the college further distract from academics, encouraging students to prioritize anything but their studies. Students align with either principal or Khanna fraction and demonstrates during the college annual board meeting to elect a manager. The student who wield hockey sticks and cricket bats to intimidate rival fractions, while Thakur Balram Singh goes so far as threatening opponents at gunpoint. These events leave Ranganath feeling guilty, described as being afflicted by a crisis of conscience. However, despite his guilt, Ranganath chose escapism over action to address these issues. Another telling moment occurs when the principal decides Ranganath as MA history student as a full of his idealistic views. The college also suffered from lack of basic amenities. As one student remarked, we are more advanced than Tagore's University at Shantiniketan. It may try to recapture tradition and hold classes in village style architecture, but we are genuine Indian students. We have no idea what electricity is, what tap water and what proper floor look like, and what it mean by sanitary fitting. We have received our Western education in Indian tradition and remain as close as the nature. Additionally, the college lacks proper sports facilities and agriculture department, which exists solely to college to collect fee and funds. The teacher, student, and even the principal are inefficient to March examination, as their attention is consumed by the February village council election. Only the impending arrival of an education ministry official, prompted by the complaint and opposition, forced to them lack of take the college conditions seriously. Shukla highlights how political establishes college primarily to build support of upcoming state assembly and parliamentary election. From officials to management, principal, teachers, students, and attitude towards education are apathetic and alarming. Teachers are often assigned subjects outside their expertise, such as Khanna Master, History MA teaches English. The college is likely to a paria batch lying in road where anyone can kick, emphasizing its neglect state. Principal invigilation officers, the teachers in RAAG DARBARI, are portrayed as corrupt and apathetic official who perform their duties only when it suits them. They lack any sense of responsibility towards their role and students' future on the national progress. The text critique the education system, especially through the lens of post-colonial theory. Post-independence India was expected to embrace modernization and ethical governance. Yet the novel reveals how feudal structure persists, merely reconfigured, with bureaucratic politicians assuming the role once held by colonial rulers. The hybrid language of the text, blending high literary Hindi, colloquial speech, reflect the complex ideas of post-colonial India. While people honor their tradition and culture, they are simultaneously inadequate and ideas of modernity Western education. Instead of fostering liberal, this clash often lead to stagnation, alienation, and confusion. The novel juxtaposes the idealistic vision of education with harsh realities of its corrupt and misuse. Shukla demonstrates how education has been co-opted by those in power to maintain their control rather than serve as a tool for social mobility or intellectual development. Teachers, often absent from classroom, prioritize political over pedagogy. When they engage with students, their questions focus on agriculture production rather than academic, asking students to bring goods for them for the next day. The student then turn the distracted by the activities outside classroom. Exasperated by the lack of boundary wall in many schools, this create an environment where education is treated as an afterthought. Shukla underscores this irony. The boys of Changamal Vidyalaya Intermediate College were well acquainted with the sports. Their ears were twisted until they deposits their sports feet. It was another matter that they were not playing field in the college. This is sharp observation highlight this absurdity of system where students are coerced into paying sports fee despite the absence of any sports facility. The system primarily focused to the generating revenue rather than providing quality education. Shukla's scathing critique is epitomized the metaphor. The present education system is like a pariah bitch lying on the road which anyone can kick. This vivid imagery portrays the education system as neglect and degraded, open to exploitation by all. The novel also addresses caste prejudice in education. A character remarked, "Now the children of sweepers and chamars are coming to study, so what sort of education can there be?" Yet Shukla dismantled this prejudice by illustrating how these marginalized students perform better when provided the proper nutrition and education. This narrative reflects the transformative impact of constitutional reform championed by figure like Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, granting equal rights to oppressed classes. The novel further critiqued the erosion of English education potential. While it originally helped dismantle harmful practices and introduced modern ideas, the current state is hollow and dysfunctional. The desire is humorously reflected when a teacher sarcastically asks, "How can you learn bloody science without English?" Shukla satires crescendo with the truck driver blunt statement in opening chapter, "The present education system is like a pariah bitch lying on the road which anybody can kick." Conclusion. The critique emphasized lack of vision among leaders and inertia for those who would benefit from meaningful change. Politicians, bureaucrats, intellectuals, media figures have the power to enact reform but often prioritize personal agendas over public welfare. As Singh noted in his analysis, Shukla's work, infrastructure development, road connectivity, mobile penetration, and economic prosperity have undoubtedly altered the landscape of Indian rural area. But corruption, poverty, and illiteracy continues to impact a common man's life in the 21st century, as they did in Shukla and Premchand's tradition of life in pre and post independence area. Through sharp wit and incisive commentary, RAAG Darbari not only exposed the flaws of Indian education system but also calls for urgent reform to address its deeply entrenched issues. Srila Shukla once remarked, "There is a shortage of engineers and doctors in India. The reason is that India are traditionally poor. They will only truly be engineers and doctors when they go to America and England. The some initial work take off stage. It is to be done here." What was kind of being done by Changamal Vidyalaya Intermediate College. However, Rupan Babu, a student of the Vidyalaya, starkly critiqued this idea, stating, "This country's education system is useless and masters have given up teaching it just to play politics." His statements currently encapsulated the dire state of education system and the institution's shortcomings. Ultimately, Changamal Vidyalaya sets as a powerful symbol of a broader social political challenges that India faced post-independence. It reflects a system failure to deliver quality education while exposing deep issues of corruption, inefficiency, neglect within the nation's government. Through the portrayal of Changamal Vidyalaya, Srila Shukla offers a sharp critique of both education system and socio-political realities of rural India, underscore the great, urgent and meaningful reform and transformation. Thank you so much. Kindly share and subscribe and like the channel.